All right. Yay. Hello, everybody. It is 7 o'clock Central here, and that means it's time for another Create and Connect session. So welcome, everyone. Come on in and say hi if you're out there watching on Facebook or YouTube. I'm excited to see you guys this evening. And session number 2 is going to be about fabric fun. And I know some of you may be like, I'm not a fabric person. But I want you to watch anyway because I think you'll be surprised how fun it is to actually create with fabric. And I'm going to teach you a couple fun things. So tonight's class will be a little bit of an intro style class. We're going to be working on these really cute little nested heart stuffies. And then when we meet again, hello, everybody. Hi, good evening. When we meet again, which is going to be Friday morning at 11 a.m. This Friday at 11. I think that is the 29th. No. Yes. No, today's the 28th, 29th, 30th. It's the 30th. My days are all mixed up, y'all, especially having snow days. It's like you just don't know what day or what time it is at all. So anyway, yes, Friday the 30th at 11 a.m., we'll have our second fabric fun session. And it's going to be a peek into our fabric fan club. And with these little heart stuffies that I'm making, I'm going to show you three different ideas that you could do with them. Okay. And so very simple projects to put together once you make your heart stuffies. Okay. And then they're just so fun and it's so cute. And I am going to be using fabrics that we're currently using in the Fabric Fan Club. The collection is called Blush and Olive, and it's so pretty. I'm going to show it to you here in just a minute. So hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Hopefully everybody can see me and hear me and all the things. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Thank you to all of you that watched session number 1, which was this morning at 11. If you didn't get a chance to watch that, no worries. The replays are available, and you can watch the replays on, again, my YouTube channel, right here on my Facebook page, also over in the Create and Connect public Facebook group. And then we will also be uploading them into the video vault. Okay. If you're in any of my creative clubs or membership groups, all of these are going to be uploaded into your private club hubs as well. Okay. Thank you, Rhonda. I appreciate that. Rhonda is watching over. Rhonda's watching on YouTube. Let's see. Watched and enjoyed. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you guys watching. Colleen says she loved it. Thank you, Colleen. I'm so happy that you guys let it. It was a lot of fun. It really was. It was a lot of fun. So tonight I'm actually coming to you live from my very own craft room because we are still experiencing weather here in North Texas, and actually school's closed again tomorrow. So there's still some really treacherous spots out there, overpasses, parking lots, all the places that haven't seen a lot of traffic. So I decided, because we did get above freezing today, so things started melting off, but I'm always nervous about the refreeze that happens. So I decided to just do this from my craft room at home. Yeah. And you guys, I have pants on and everything. Sometimes when I'm crafting at home, I have my pajama pants on. I'm gonna be real honest. I love to craft in my pajama pants, but tonight I actually have my real pants on. I know you guys are probably so thrilled about that. Okay. Who else likes to craft in their pajama pants? I mean, right? Comfy. It's all about comfort. Yeah, I don't want to risk Kathy driving on anything that could still be ice, and black ice is something we have to be really careful of here in Texas. Some of you live in areas where you have the crews and the all the things you need to take care of the roads and things. But this happens so rarely here in Texas. We just don't have a lot of that. So it kind of, things just have a tendency to kind of shut down. Jody is in her pajamas right now. I really wish I was too, Jody. I'll be real honest. Barbara, you have paint all over your pajamas. Oh my gosh, that is so funny, because I do too, because I just, I mean, if you're a crafter, it just winds up on you, right? So whatever you're wearing at the time, it just winds up on you. And I'm like, I don't throw those clothes out. Because I craft all the time. I just let them become more and more colorful. That's too funny. That's funny. Marlou says, I thought pajama pants were real pants. Yeah, I'll take it as real pants. I mean, they make them so cute now, right? All right. Well, I'm Miss Tracy here. If you have not met me before, I'm Miss Tracy of Miss Tracy Creates. I hope that some of you out there are watching are brand new, and I can't wait to share with you a little bit through these Create and Connect sessions this week about the different things that I just absolutely love to do and create, and the things that just bring me incredible amounts of joy. Okay, so this is actually one of them. Working with fabric is something that, out of all the things that I do, it's actually one of the things that is the most relaxing for me. And I know some of y'all might find that hard to believe, but it really truly is. And so it's something I just really, really enjoy doing. So before we get too much into this, I do have a live gift away tonight. So I am going to be giving away a prize to a lucky commenter. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started, because then anybody that posts a comment, it's going to throw you into a random prize drawing. So give me just a second to get this going. I'm always worried I'm going to forget. Okay, so it is collecting comments. Let me make sure it's working correctly. Okay, it's collecting comments right now. Awesome. Hello, everybody. So good to see you guys watching. So it's collecting comments right now, and just one comment, that's all we need, and it'll just throw you into our drawing. So, and I'll show you what I'm giving away here a little bit later. We'll do that drawing at the end of our session. Don't let me forget, okay? Somebody out there, make sure I remember. So the other thing is, with these first few Create and Connect sessions, I just have to call it out, but I want to make sure that you guys know to get yourself registered. Make sure you're registered for Create and Connect, even though it's free and you're watching the sessions right now. You guys, on Sunday night, we're going to be giving away 3 awesome, amazing grand prizes. You get 3 lucky winners get to choose a membership group or a club of their choice and get 6 months free. Okay, that's a big grand prize, and I don't want you to miss out. And by registering for this free event, that is automatically putting you onto our grand prize drawing list. Okay, so make sure you're doing that. My team is over in the comments tonight. If you would, team, please post that link so that everybody can get registered if they haven't already, because we want to make sure that you get included in that grand prize drawing. Okay, all right. And then each session is representing something that I love to do, things that I love to make. And so for tonight, Fabric Fun is going to be, I'm calling it like an intro session. This is what I'm going to show you tonight is something any of you can do. Okay, any of you can make. And I'm going to share a few little basic hand stitching tips and techniques. And then when we meet for the second time, we're going to meet another time. We're going to meet on Friday at 11. Actually, I'm going live 11 and 7 every day. Today's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday night will be live reveals, the grand prize announcements, all that kind of fun will happen Sunday night at 7. central. All times are central. So when we meet again for our second session for this, it's going to truly be more of an inside look into what we do and the fun that we have in the Fabric Fan Club. And with these little heart stuffies, and I'm going to show you how to get started tonight, how to get those made. Then I'm going to show you 3 different ways, really cute ways that we can utilize these, and also a couple other things I'm going to be doing with fabric for those. And so I'm really excited. So that is something all of my Fabric Fan Club members, I'm sure, will be watching if they're able to. Obviously, replays are available as well to watch. And if you're a member of the Fabric Fan Club, not only do you get to see what's going on currently, but you also get access to the past workshops. We have an online, it's called the Club Hub. I have a Club Hub for each one of my membership groups and clubs. And so there is a Club Hub for the Fabric Fan Club, and that's where everything lives. It's like an online searchable library, classroom, portal, whatever you want to call it. It's not a part of Facebook. You access it through my website at MissTracyCreates.com. You'll have a special way to sign in and all of those things, and then it will recognize you. And then that's where everything lives long term. So you can go back and see all the different kinds of things that we've made. You might fall in love with a certain project and want to go back and make it. So you'll have access to lots and lots of things there. Okay. And I'll be talking more as we're working and creating tonight. So tonight, though, if you've never threaded a needle, if you've never cut a piece of fabric, if you've never, put a stitch into fabric, I don't want you to worry about it. I want you to watch. And if you happen to have some supplies at home and want to, kind of practice some of these things with me, you're more than welcome to do that too. Okay. So thank you, everybody that's here, especially my members for the Fabric Fan Club. I appreciate you guys being here, and I love it when you guys post and sprinkle this out to your crafty friends and family. And if you are a member, if you don't mind posting just like why do you love it? Why are you a member? What's some of your favorite things about our awesome, amazing Fabric Fan Club? Okay, so you see, Denise, I love you, Denise. Look what Denise is doing. Sorry, here we go. She's watching while stitching. Yes, because we can stitch while we do other things. I love that, right? I love that. And Debbie is working on the little stitch book. Yeah, I'm going to show that to you as well tonight because I think it's just so adorable. And it's a great kind of a look at what we do. Okay, so Fabric Fan Club session or Fabric Fun session. We're going to go ahead and get it started here. And we're going to talk a little bit about, sorry, let me get this off the stage. Let me get this on our platform here. There we go. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the Fabric Fan Club as we go. And as you have questions, just post them. Like I said, my team members are watching over in the chat. They can answer them if I don't see them. But I'll try to answer whatever questions that you have. Okay. So look at these fabrics on my table here. We love them. These fabrics that you kind of see in some of the projects here, this, my friends, is the fabric bundle we're working with right now in the Fabric Fan Club. And I named it Blush and Olive. It is so pretty. It's peaceful. There's just something very cozy and relaxing. Something about the colors just, they're just so calming. Very calming. And so anyway, we've been working with this fabric bundle. It was shipped to our members in January. And how the Fabric Fan Club works is you get a fabric bundle. You got this one. This one was shipped in January. It's still available. If you become a member and want access to this fabric, you're going to have it. We're going to have a link for you to be able to purchase more. And then in February, okay, it's a specialty stitching kit. And then the next month, it's a fabric bundle. And the next month, it's a specialty stitching kit. And the reason we started doing this is because, and we've been doing it now for 2 years, the Fabric Fan Club is actually going to be 6 years old this spring. Isn't that like mind-blowing. Like, I can't believe that. But we started doing this a couple of years ago, and it's worked great because now the fabric bundle that gets sent to you has 6 fat quarters in it. A fat quarter is about 18 by 21 to 22 inches, depending on the selvage. Okay. So it's quite a bit of fabric. Well, by doing the every other month thing, we have about 8 weeks that we get to work on projects from that fabric bundle. And then on the off months, which February for us is a kit month, I send you a specialty stitching kit. Now, I'm going to tell you what the specialty stitching kit is. Okay, I'm going to tell you what it is. It's not this, okay, but it's something I think that all of you are going to like. So I'm going to pop this on the stage really quickly here. It is using this exact same kind of fabric. It's going to be a different fabric, but it's going to coordinate beautifully with blush and olive. And it is a creative cover and notebook. I'm super excited about this. So let me explain kind of what that is, okay? So February, every member is going to receive an actual notebook. It's a lined notebook. You could use it as a journal or just as a notepad to take notes in, all the things. And then you're going to receive everything that you need for us to create a cover for it. And it's a cover that it will just slide in and out of, so you can, continue to use it as you decide to throw in another notebook. I made sure that the size of this notebook is very generic so that it will work for other notebooks as well. And so I'm super excited about this because creating fun covers for books is something that once you learn how to do one, then you can cover pretty much any kind of book that you own. Maybe you want to cover a planner. Maybe you want to cover a recipe book. Maybe you want to cover your Bible, or like I have a cover on a couple of my journaling Bibles, right? So it's a great, great time to come into the Fabric Fan Club, knowing you're going to get the stitching kit with the things that you need. The only thing we don't include in the kit, you guys, is the actual thread. And there's a reason for that, because we always get questions about that. So especially with this particular one that's coming to you, it's neutral enough that honestly, you could use any of your own, any of your favorite colors, right? You could actually use any of your favorite colors. I'm going to be using colors on my sample, which, by the way, the live reveal will be Sunday night. I'm going to show you what the finished book cover looks like, so you can see it for yourself. But I'm going to be using the threads colors that I'm using on blush and olive. That's what's on my sample. But I'm going to make a second one because I just want to, because I do want to show you that you can honestly use any colors of thread that you want. Some of you may have a lot of DMC floss. Y'all know what that is? Like if you were a cross stitcher, you did other kind of needle crafts, DMC floss, you could use that. I really love to use these. These are Sulky threads. Sulky is the brand. They are 12 weight, 100% cotton. I always stitch with a double thread, which you're going to see here in just a few minutes. And just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful for hand stitching. These also can be used in a sewing machine. If you happen to have a sewing machine, you don't have to have one to be in this club, because we feature mostly all hand stitching, because that's what I personally love the most. But if you do have a sewing machine, then yeah, you can pull that out and use it if you want to as well, but you don't have to have one to be in this group. Okay. So let me just show you, this is one of our little books that we just finished up as a workshop in the Fabric Fan Club. And I showed it, I think, the other night, or maybe it was last Create and Connect. But anyway, this is so cute. The whole entire book is just fabric. So this is my front cover. Take it one stitch at a time. Cute little felt hearts, templates for this. Anything that I do that has designs or custom designs or templates that are made by me, obviously are shared with members in the group, so that they have them. And then I'll show you the back here. And then this opens up. Now, the reason that we're making this, it has the little felt pages in here, is because I'm redoing a lot of my, what I call in stitches short videos this year. And adding a lot more to them. Okay. So this is going to be our little stitching sampler book. So if you do come in and join and you want to make one of these, the workshop's already there. It's right there waiting for you. And you can make one of these. And then during 2026, every month there'll be a few new little short. They're just little short. Again, I call them in stitches videos. We have some in the group right now, but they're old. They're ones that I made back in 2020, and they need to be updated big time. They need to be updated big time. Plus, I'm doing so many more kinds of things, and especially this year, I'm going to be sharing a lot more different types of stitches. I consider my style to be doodling with thread. Let me just put that out there to you. Doodling with thread. I'm not hung up on that my stitches all have to be the same size. I like them to be a little wonky. I like that whimsical kind of look and approach to hand stitching. So I love the term doodling with thread. However, there are certain stitches that we use a lot. And there's other creative stitches that I've kind of been playing with that I want to teach everybody in the group. And so I thought it would be really good for us to start fresh with a new little sampler book. And then this kind of becomes your reference book. And you'll be able to go in and just put in the little sample stitches or flower techniques or a leaf technique or whatever it is that you want to put in there. So that way you have something to go back and use as a reference. So we're calling that our little stitching sampler booklet. Okay. Super fun, very easy to make. Okay. So for tonight's project though, I want to talk to you a little bit about templates. And I'm going to show you a template really quickly here. So let me get this up on the screen really fast. Yes, this is going to be perfect for anybody that is a beginner. Let me find my templates. Okay, here they go. Okay, I'm going to pop this up on the screen. Now, this has already been shared for you. These are the templates that we're going to be using to make our Nested Heart Stuffies. I like to call them stuffies because we stuff them. So there is a heart A, B, C, and D. They are different sizes and they're made where we can use them together. Now, these are posted for you over in the Create and Connect Facebook group. They'll also be uploaded into the Video Vault in the Club Hubs. If you happen to be watching over there on YouTube, we will also be following up with an email to everybody that registered to make sure that you get these deliverables as well, because I know some of you may not be on Facebook, okay? So we're going to make sure that everybody gets these. And then when I do give you a template or something like this, okay, I'm going to show you how I'm using the templates tonight. But one thing I want you to think about is when you print a template, okay? When you print a template, this is important. It's important that our sizes are very, close to the same. Did you guys know that a lot of printers have a default setting when you print something that they automatically shrink something down to a certain amount? Like when I checked my printer back when I first got the printer I'm using now, the default was 97%. And that was the default. So it was printing everything I printed at 3% smaller than it really was. Okay. Now I have come to learn that 3% really doesn't make that big of a difference. But if your default on your printer is printing at like 95% or more, less, then that can kind of throw things off when we design. So I always tell everybody to check your printer. Sometimes, with these nested hearts, it's not really going to matter, but sometimes things that we make need to be that specific size. Okay. And so check your default settings on your printers and just make sure if they say 97, 98, 99, 100, then you're good. Okay. But if it's anything lower than 97%, let's go ahead and change that before you print your templates out. Okay. I know. Who would have known? Like nobody knows that unless you actually go and look at it. And so I think somebody on our that works at the shop with us, she was even printing something off and her default was like 92%. It's like, where do they come up with these numbers? You know, I don't know, but it is a good idea to check that. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to switch my screen around here for a moment. And I want to make sure you can really see what I have going on down here on my table. And we're going to get started. And I want to show you exactly what I'm using and how we're going to make these adorable nested heart stuffies. Okay. All right. So let me, whoops, wrong screen. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to bring the camera down here a little bit just so you can see that I have cut out my templates. Okay. I've cut out my templates right here. So I have my heart A, B, C, and D. And you can see that this heart kind of can go into this heart. And if we want to layer that heart up, we can layer that one up. If we want to maybe do a smaller heart, you see we can kind of layer up this one and so forth. So I called them nested hearts. Very, very fun, very simple to create with. So I have my templates cut out. Now there will be times when I give you a template and it's these are, you're just going to cut them out, just like they are. Sometimes I give you a template that is like has a stitching line on it or something like that. That will always be called out to you on the printable. So really easy, just print these out and cut them out. You could even print them in black and white if you want to save on your ink. Okay, so let's look at a couple of these. So here is one stuffy. Now I want to show you, I'm going to show you these stitching techniques, but I want to show you that I haven't actually stuffed these yet. So that means I'm leaving a little bit of a room for my finger right here. So at the bottom, so that we can go in and stuff these. Here's this size, here's this size. And aren't these going to be pretty in my blush and olive fabric collection and assortment? It's going to be so pretty. Now we're going to add some things to these in our second session. And so, but tonight is all about just learning how to get them stitched, right? How to layer them up and get them stitched. So this is, again, is going to be an intro session. So just want you to see, it's like a little finger puppet right now. Okay. Isn't that cute? They're going to be so fun. Okay. And then, like I said, I'm going to show you different ways that we can actually utilize these. I have some really, really cute inspiration and projects to show you when we meet for session 2. Okay. So I have all my fabrics here. I also have some felts over here. I always choose a variety of felts that really look good with our fabric bundles. These are wool felts. I love stitching on them. They are beautiful, and they just stitch so much better than like an actual craft felt. Now, I also do use some craft felt from time to time because it makes a great backing for my fabric. Okay, it gives my fabric stability and all those things. So we're going to be also talking a little bit about adding that. This is just a general white craft felt. There's also something called fusible fleece, but for something this small of a project, we really honestly just regular craft felt will do fine for what we need it for. Okay. The other thing that I'm going to be using, obviously, is some thread tonight, just a variety of whatever colors I decide to use. And then some good little detail cutting scissors. These are ones I like to use for fabric. Also this, you guys will love this. We use this all the time in the Fabric Fan Club. These are no-sew temporary fabric glue sticks. It looks just like a craft glue stick. Okay, just raises up like this, but it's temporary. And it's great because I can hold my pieces together with this and stitch through it without it gunking up my needle. So what does that mean? That means I don't have to pin things. I don't have to clip things. And it's just so nice. And if I want to move something around, I can easily move it around. Okay. The other thing I'm going to be using tonight is my friction pen. You guys, the friction pen by Pilot is basically has disappearing ink when it's heated. Okay. So like when you heat it, like I could use my heat tool or my iron over it and it will disappear. So I love using this for tracing and making little registration marks sometimes, all the things. And especially with doodling with thread, it can be very, very, very fun. Okay. So right now, Annette, this is a really good question. Annette, the templates are saved over in my Create and Connect with Miss Tracy public Facebook group. Okay. Because we have guides set up there. They're actually saved under guide number 4. Guide number 4. You'll see the little navigation bar, and one of the things will say guides. When you click on it, just scroll down to guide 4, and that's where you'll find the templates. We will also be following up with everyone that's registered via email with those as well. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh, the best glue stick ever, temporary fabric glue stick. It doesn't discolor. It doesn't alter the fabric at all. Just so easy to use. Okay. All right. So let's get started here. So I've decided I want to use this fabric for one of my hearts here. And let's see. Now, sometimes I like to actually trace on top of the fabric. Sometimes I'm okay with tracing on the back side of the fabric. And again, it doesn't really matter because my friction pin, those lines are going to disappear. Okay. But it's kind of fun to do this from the front because then I can capture something. Like if I want to capture this right here, well, I have to remember this is going to be layered. So actually I'm going to try to capture a lot of this, a lot of these smaller flowers here. Let's see. Let me make sure I'm next to an edge. I think I am. Yes, I am. Okay. So I'm going to just trace this out. You can use this on your felt too, friction pin. Okay, so I can kind of see what I'm going to capture, right? Because I'm going to have another heart in the center, but I like all this around the edges. And then I'm also going to trace another heart that will be the back. And the back is not going to have be layered with hearts. It's just going to be solid. So I can capture whatever I want to for this one. Okay, so this is where we're starting. So just tracing these out. And of course, you can mix and match the hearts up however you want. I don't want them all to be the same size. So you can do some big ones, some medium ones, some small ones, whatever you'd like. And now I'm just going to cut along my line. And it's okay if I get off my line a little bit. Again, the line's going to disappear anyway. So I'm going to cut these out. While I'm cutting, again, just want to remind you, if you do come into the Fabric Fan Club, we have a private Facebook group. If you're into community and all of those things. And then I do go live in our Hangout, right? Our private Facebook group. I go live on Thursday nights. Thursday nights is typically my Fabric Fan Club night at 7 o'clock in the evening. And if you can't watch at that time, you can always catch the replays. And everything gets loaded over into the Club Hub. So that is something I really want to call out to those of you that are watching on YouTube, because you may not want to be on Facebook. Facebook may not be your scene. And you'll still be able to access the Club Hub right through our website if you would like to. Okay. All right, so there are my two hearts. Now, one of these, and it's going to be this one. I'm going to let this one be the back because I think that's really pretty. It captures everything, so this will be the back. This is the one I'll be layering up with hearts in the centers. So this is the one that's going to need a little bit of, think of it like faux batting. Okay, so I'm just going to cut myself. This is just a little swatch here. This is just regular craft felt. I buy this by the yard at Hobby Lobby generally when it's on sale. If you have a local fabric store near you or somewhere that sells fabric, I like to buy it on the bolt. And I usually just get a yard of it when it's on sale. And then as my yard starts to diminish, and then I'll go watch for another sale and I'll get some more. The reason I'm using this is because I just need some stability underneath my fabric. I also love, love, love for things to feel quilted, right? You know what I'm talking about? Are there any quilters here in the group? Okay, I love that kind of quilted feel, that cozy quilted feel. And that's what we get when we put something behind our fabric and we stitch on it. Now, I'm not going to need to put anything on the backing. Well, all right, just really on the front one. It's just the front one that we're going to be stitching right now. So I'm going to turn this over and just twist up my glue stick. And I'm going to put it on just like a regular glue stick, just like you would with paper. Just going to go right onto the fabric and turn it over and just lay it down onto my felt. Okay. Now, as you can see, I'm just going to turn it over. You can see it's just stuck down, and I didn't have to iron anything. I didn't have to do anything. That's why I really love this, especially for smaller things. It's just really great for this. All right, so we're going to put our little back over here. Now let's grab another template and let's decide what we want to put in the center of this one. I haven't done any, let's see, we can use whatever colors we want. Let's use this green. I have a greens piece here. Let's use a little bit of this green. I want to use some good, especially with you guys right now for this sample, I kind of want to use some really good contrasting colors because it'll be easier for you to see on camera. And then, of course, at home, you can layer these up, however you want. Those of you that are in the Fabric Fan Club, just pick and choose your fabrics and felts, whatever you want. And those of you that are using your stash from home, just have at it. You can make them with anything, right? With any of your fabrics. Hearts are just so pretty, to me, universal, pretty all year long. All right, so I traced this out again with my friction pen. I'm going to put a little felt heart in the center now. This color is called light olive. Okay, and again, it works great. The twist up glue stick works great on felt as well. So now I'm going to just stick this right into the center. So fun. Okay, I'm going to stick it right into the center, and then let's decide what this little heart is going to be. And I'm kind of leaning towards, I'm trying to kind of use some of my little scrap pieces here. Let's use this color. This color is called French Peach. So again, just going to trace this out, and you can see I try not to trace real heavily on my felt because I don't want it to dig into the fibers. But I mean, even just tracing lightly, I can easily see that to be able to, I'm going to go ahead and just show you what it looks like. Let's say maybe I messed up on a template. I can just take my heat gun and it disappears, right? So that could be the same for, if you wanted to, if you needed to use an iron or a, or gosh, even a blow dryer. So let me retrace this again. Now you can make as many of these as you want. I think I'm going to make probably 5 or 6. I don't actually need 5 or 6 for every project I'm going to show you, but I just want to. I just want to make some out of all the different fabrics in this bundle. So yeah, if you want to make even only 3, that's fine. It's just fun to mix and match them. Okay, so you can see my pin lines around that, right? Well, that again, I don't have to worry about that because that's going to disappear when I pop it with the heat gun. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put some of my twist up glue stick. When you purchase this glue stick from us, it's in our little shopping collection page for Create and Connect. It's actually sold in a 2-pack. And that is a good thing because it's great to have a set of 2 because you will use it a lot, and especially if you wind up joining the Fabric Fan Club. Okay, look how cute that looks. All right, now I could have done some of this. I could have done like this one. This one is fabric felt fabric. This one just happens to be fabric felt felt. I mean, you can mix these up however you would like. You might want to do a felt fabric felt, right? It's just however you want to do it. Okay, so now I want you to see that my lines are gone. It's nice and clean. Okay, nice and clean. So now I don't have to do this right now, but I'm going to go ahead and do this really quickly. I'm just going to go ahead and trim off the excess of this craft felt. Just kind of going around close to the edge of my fabric, just cleaning that excess off. So now we can see what it's really going to look like. And then eventually we're going to be backing it with this piece of fabric, right? That matches the front. Okay. Not yet, but eventually. Okay, so what's going to happen next? Is everybody good? Does anybody, Lori, that's a really good question. Lori says, does it matter which side you use the wool felt? It does not. It looks beautiful on both sides. So no, it does not matter at all. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Sherry says, why are you layering with felt versus fabric? If you mean backing them, the reason I like to back them with felt is because, again, it's almost like a faux batting. It gives me that little extra stability for my fabric. And when I stitch through it, it feels very, very quilted. Okay. It gives me that little poof of feeling quilted. If you mean by layering up these, it's really however you want to do it. You could do felt, fabric, felt. You could do fabric, felt, fabric. I mean, you can layer these up, fabrics and felts, in any way that you want. Okay. I hope that helps with that question. Oh, they'd be so cute to give to somebody. And just wait, Muriel, until I share with you in session 2. I think you're going to be blown away with some of my ideas, and I'm going to show you exactly how these could be used. Okay. All right. So now I think it's time for us to start stitching. You guys ready? Okay, we're going to start stitching, and let's go ahead first. Again, I'm treating this just like an intro workshop. So I'm going to start by actually showing you how I thread my needle and how I knot the end of my thread. Now I got to think which color I want to use, and I'm going to start with this. I think I'm going to actually start with the green. I'm going to start with the green here. So I'm kind of thinking actually the white might look really pretty against the green. That way we can keep it all kind of different. And that's a pretty good contrast. So let's walk through this. All right. And I'm going to have to raise the camera up just a minute, and then I'll put it back down. Okay. Oh my gosh, Tiffany, that is one of my ideas I'm going to show you, is just having them cute little heart stuffies in a dough bowl. But I have two other really great things I want to show you as well. So yeah, you're reading my mind. Okay, so you can see part of my arm here, but not my whole entire arm, and that's okay. I generally will pull enough thread from my fingers to my shoulder, okay? And then I'm going to pull it again, okay? So fingertip to shoulder, never longer than my arm length twice, okay? My arm length basically times 2. And that is, and some of you have longer arms, and that's okay. And some of us, like me, I have shorter arms, and that's okay. But if you pull too much thread, sometimes that's actually is going to hinder you. You think you're doing good because you don't have to thread your needle as often, but it actually can create extra sometimes extra little knots, and things can get a little bit gnarly. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to thread my needle. Now, this is something and being fully transparent and honest with you, I have always struggled with threading a needle. Okay. Did you hear that? I have always struggled with threading a needle. Okay. So I found a way where I actually needle my thread. Now, this may work for some of you. Some of you may want to invest in a fun little needle threader. They're usually pretty inexpensive that can help you thread your needles. Okay. In fact, I'm going to, with our winner tonight, I'm actually going to throw in a couple of little needle threaders for you. But I have found a way that works for me. Okay. And I just want to show it to you here. So I have the end of my thread right here. Here's my white thread. And first thing, we always want to cut it so we have a nice sharp edge. Okay, nice sharp edge. I'm going to needle my thread, friends. That's what I was trying to say. So I actually take this little tip. You can see it right there. I'm going to kind of pinch it right between my thumb and my pointer finger. Sorry, I'll let the camera kind of focus in. And then I'm going to bring my needle to the thread. That is what works for me, my friends. I needle my thread. Instead of bringing my thread to my needle, I bring my needle to my thread. Now, one thing I want you to know, again, for those of you that are new to me or new to working with needle and thread and fabric and all the fun things, is a needle actually has a front and a back. The eye of the needle has a front and a back. It's very hard to tell what is the front or the back. So what I want you to do is if you're struggling one way, turn the needle over the other way. And most of the time it'll work like a charm. Okay. Now I want you to see that I'm pulling my needle to the middle. Sorry, let me get my thread worked out here so that you can see this well. There we go. So I want you to see I'm pulling my thread, my needle to the middle of my thread. Okay. That way I'm actually stitching with 2 strands of thread, but I only had to thread my needle once. So when you hear me saying I'm stitching with a double thread, that's what this is. And 99% of the time I'm stitching with a double thread. Every once in a while, I might stitch with a single piece of thread for something really delicate, but I will always tell you. So I'm going to take my 2 tails here and pull them together and pull my needle down. Okay. And I'm going to show you how I do my little knot. Now, everybody does their knot a different way. You do not have to do it like me. Do it whatever way feels comfortable for you. But if you've never done this before, you might want to try my way. So I have the ends here and right here. I'm going to put them over the needle and I'm going to grab them. This is the pointy end of the needle. So you can see I'm kind of in the middle of the needle here, and I'm going to wrap 1, 2, 3 times. I'm going to point my needle up to the ceiling, and I'm going to take these 2 fingers and I'm going to pinch over everything that I just wrapped. Okay. Now I'm going to keep my fingers together. I'm going to push the needle up, keeping my fingers together. Whoops. Sorry, my hands are so dry. I'm having a hard time holding things. And just keep pulling the thread through until you can't anymore. And it just makes a nice little knot. Okay. So I'm sure you'll see me do that a few times tonight. Okay, so the first stitch I want to show you is called, well, if you're doodling with thread, I like to call this an outlining stitch. And it is probably the stitch that we use 90% of the time in the Fabric Fan Club, or we have been. We're going to start expanding to using some other types of stitches this year, but we will always, always come back to this outline stitch, which for a lot of you, if you're already, if you've embroidered before, it is a basic back stitch. Okay, it's just a basic back stitch. Now I'm going to do this on my green heart, and you can see it's not moving because I used my twist up glue stick, my temporary glue stick. And so the very first thing I'm going to do is just come in and put in a stitch. Okay, just stick in a stitch. We always start from the back, so our knot's on the back. So I'm just going to start with a stitch. Okay, just a little stitch here. And the reason we call this a back stitch is because we're going to go ahead of the stitch. Can you see that? I'm going up ahead of the stitch, pulling it through. I'm a stabber, by the way. And then I'm going to go back to that stitch I just made, right down in that hole. And I'm going to do a back stitch. So again, I'm going to come up. Sorry, let me grab it here. I'm going to come up ahead of the stitch. You see that? Ahead of the stitch. And I'm going to go down right where I meet the previous stitch. And this, my friends, is called the back stitch. And I call it the outlining stitch. And because we do so much doodling with thread in this group, we do a lot of outlining. Okay, now I'm going to show you an example of this really quickly here. And it's this. Okay, so do you see all of this black thread right here? You guys, that was just outlining. This is a back stitch with black thread just outlining the fabric, the actual lines on the fabric. It looks very, like, wow, like that looks crazy. That would be too hard for me to do. But that's all it is. It's a simple back stitch. We just outlined everything. This is a simple back stitch. Outlined the heart. The words are a simple back stitch. Okay, the leaves are a simple back stitch in green. So this outline stitch we use a lot, and it is so easy to do. Super, super easy to do. So I'm going to continue on my heart here. And again, ahead of the stitch and back to meet the stitch. Now there's a couple of variations of this stitch that you'll also learn in the Fabric Fan Club. And that's why we made our little stitching sampler book, because I'm going to be updating all of our little stitches. I call them in stitches videos. And so when I teach my little video on the back stitch, I'm also going to show you the variations of this, because there are other things we can do with the same type of stitch. Okay. Super easy. And isn't this pretty? Because the white really shows up on the green. So pretty. And probably the best tip I could give you on this is, again, I don't really worry about the length of my stitches. But if you're going around a curve, anything that's kind of shaped or curvy, like the curvy part of the heart, you may want to do smaller stitches. Smaller stitches just help the thread to curve versus longer stitches. We could do longer stitches on a straight piece, right? But if it's going to have a curve to it, we want to use a little bit smaller stitches. All right, so I'm just going to keep on going here so I can show you what to do when you get to about 3 inches left of thread, 2 or 3 inches left of thread. I'll show you how we knot this off and start again. So fun. So if you happen to be in the Fabric Fan Club right now, I want you to just share with everybody here in the comments, like, what is one of the favorite projects that we've ever made? in the Fabric Fan Club that you just love, love, love? Like, you know, I know it's hard to choose, but maybe one of your top 3 projects that we've made. Just share those with everybody. That would be awesome. Again, just as a reminder, February is a kit month. So we're going to be sending you a specialty stitch kit. But if you are interested in these same fabrics, these are the fabrics that we shipped out in January. We're going to send you a little invitation link so that you have, that is one great benefit to being a member, is you get to purchase from past bundles of fabric while they're still available. And then in the stitching kit, you'll have everything you need. The fabric, the wool felts. I'm actually sending you fusible fleece for our backing for our cover, for our notepad cover, our notebook cover, I should say. It's a hardback notebook. Okay, so we're about to where we've ended. I don't have quite enough room here. Let me go ahead and show you how to knot this off, and then I'll come back to what I was talking about. So I have, you know, a couple, I'm usually pretty bad. I kind of push this. So 2 to 3 inches left. I'm going to go under one of the stitches I just made. Okay. And it's okay if you go into the felt a little bit, just make sure you don't go through the front of the heart. And then I'm going to go, it's going to create a little loop there. Hopefully you can see this. I know it's white on white. And then I'm just going to pull the needle back through the loop and just tug that. And that just makes a little knot. Just makes a little knot. Just cut it. This will be in the inside of our stuffy, so nobody will ever see that. And I promise I never judge you by the back side of your project. Never, ever will I do that. Yes, I will never, ever do that because I don't want y'all to judge me by the back side of my project. Okay, so I'm gonna needle my thread again here, just so you can see. There it is. See the end? I'm going to pinch it up where I can just barely see it, and I'm going to bring it straight to, bring my needle straight to it. It may take you a little practice when you first start doing that, but man, it's good. And you also, the other thing is you really need good task lighting, especially if you're my age. I am 58. I'll be 59 in March. And as we get older, as our eyes mature, we need more light. We need more light. So it's not always, and this was what my eye doctor told me, it's not always that our prescription's changing. It's just that our eyes need more light as we get older. So now I'm going to finish out my stitch here. So again, I'm just going to come up ahead of the stitch and down to meet the stitch I previously made. I'm going to work my way around, and then I'm going to show you a completely different stitch on the little heart. So let's go ahead and work our way all the way around. So anyway, when the stitching kit comes to you, if you're a new member with us, it will have the notebook or journal. It's a hardback notebook journal. And I'm going to share the live reveal with you Sunday night. And then all the stuff for the cover, everything except for the thread. You can use threads in your stash. You can, I mentioned DMC floss earlier. They say the ratio for DMC floss to sulky is 2 strands to 1. So 2 strands of DMC floss equal 1 strand of sulky. That's what it says on the sulky website. So just so you know. And then all the fabric is actually, I'm going to go ahead and just tell you, it's linen. It's a linen fabric, and oh my gosh, it's so pretty. You're going to love it. There'll also be ribbon and some crocheted lace in this kit, and the fusible fleece, the book, all the things. Everything really just, the main thing is going to be thread. And when I show you the book Sunday night, show you the book cover Sunday night in the book, then you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm going to do the live reveal on Sunday at 7 p.m. Central. You'll see what I mean by the fact that it could be any thread colors that you want to use. Okay, so I'm going to take this again. I'm going to take it underneath the stitch I last made, and it's okay again if it goes in the felt. Just don't let it go through the front of the heart. Go through the loop and just give it a little tug. That makes a little knot. Okay, so we're done with that part. Now let's work on the center heart here. And let's use this pinky color. I love this color. And girls, just those of you in the Fabric Fan Club, look, like I have gone through so much thread with these projects. So yes, we do. The threads that we carry from Sulky are it's $1.99, I believe, for a spool, and they do last a long time. But I have been doing a lot of stitching with these threads because I'm using them also for the stitching project, which will be shipped out in February, and then March will be another fabric bundle, 6 fat quarters. April will be a kit, and so on and so on. Oh, I forgot. Okay, so I just threaded my needle. Now I want you to see, here's the tails. I'm going to hold it over the needle, wrap it 1, 2, 3 times, point to the ceiling, pinch over everything I just wrapped, and then just push the needle up through it. All the way, just pull all the way, and that gives me a nice little knot. Okay. Okay, so the next stitch I'm going to show you is going to be on this little small heart right here, and it is called a blanket stitch. Now, I love this stitch, and it definitely is a great one because it's also a great stitch for the outside of our hearts. You see that? It looks good from both sides. So, it can also be done on the inside, these hearts right here, and then again, this outside part. Okay, it's really great. It's a very beautiful stitch. It perplexes people sometimes, but I'm hopefully going to walk you through it in a way that makes it very easy for you. Okay, so I'm going to start right here. I'm not actually in the heart. I just want you to see this. I'm like right above. I'm kind of in this valley. You see that? The valley. Here's the shoulders of the heart. Here's kind of that valley. That's where I'm going to come up at. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start right there. There's my knot on the back. The club membership, Anne, thank you for asking. I didn't realize I hadn't even talked about that yet, is $36 a month. So that $36 a month gets you the fabric bundle or the fabric stitching kit each month, no additional shipping, and then also access to our private Facebook group. If you would like the community and all of that aspect, it's so much fun in there. And then you'll also have access to all of our past workshops. Everything lives in our private club hub, which you access through the website. So it's not a part of Facebook, which is really great for us. As you guys know, Facebook is deleting content now after 30 days, deleting live videos, things like that. Well, we really didn't want Facebook to have control of our things. So that's why you have the private club hub, so that we control the access that you get. And then also, you're going to really love the custom templates, the printables, just all of the things. And of course, the in stitches, little short stitching videos. Gosh, there's just so many things. So I would love for you to consider coming over and joining us. And you can get all the details over on the website. So whoever is here, Beth is having a hard time grasping the blanket stitch. Okay, and now it's one of your favorites. That's awesome, Beth. So if you're one of my team members over there watching, if you will post the link to the information about the Fabric Fan Club, you guys can go read all the benefits. You can see it all in black and white. There's also a free gift. There's also a free gift for coming and joining during Create and Connect. And I'll share with you about that here in just a little bit. Okay, so let's get into the blanket stitch. I have put one stitch down. Okay, one stitch down. Now I'm going to come back up right where I was, right where I was in that kind of the valley of the heart. Okay, I need my thread coming up from the top of this stitch. Okay, all right. So now what's next? Well, next I'm going to go down. I'm just kind of moving over a little bit. Can y'all see that where I'm going down? I'm going to go down right here. And you see how this is kind of creating a loop here? All right. Before I close up that loop, I'm going to go up. And again, I'm on the green heart. I'm actually at the edge of this peach, kind of peachy colored pink heart. So I'm coming up inside the loop and watch what happens. Do you see how it just catches that loop? All right, I'm going to do it again. Again, I'm going to go down. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple different ways to do this, but I just want to kind of show you this slowly. So I'm going down, and then I like to just go ahead and come up immediately. And I just want to make sure that my needle is in this loop, right? In this loop. And then I'm going to pull it snug. See what's happening? Okay. Now I'm going to, now that you kind of saw that in slow motion, I'm going to come down again right here. Now I kind of like holding, I don't like having a lot of thread when I do this, by the way. Okay, not a lot of long thread. I'm going to hold this top thread kind of with my thumb right here. Okay, now also I mentioned this earlier, I'm a stabber. You guys, I'm a crafter, I'm a maker. I didn't grow up stitching and sewing and doing all the things. So I tend to stab in and out of my felt and my fabric. Some of you out there are more of a sewer and you may have been taught a completely different way. Please do whatever is most comfortable for you. But again, do you see how I'm coming up? Here's my loop, right? I'm coming up inside that loop and just pulling it snug. And I'm going to keep working my way around. So I like kind of pulling this up, hold it with my thumb. I'm going to go down. I also do this when I first started. This is what I did. So I'm going to show you this. I'm going to, do you see how I have the loop there? I catch the loop with my needle. Just catch the loop with your needle. Whoops, except for not yet. I didn't put my needle through my fabric. All right, put my needle through my fabric. And then just catch the loop. Make sure you're inside the loop. That is the key thing. Okay, I'm going to keep going around. So yeah, I'm a stabber. Some of you are sewers and some of us are stabbers. Both work just fine. Okay, can you see what's happening there? Isn't that pretty? It's so pretty. So again, I always kind of hold this part of the thread with my thumb. I'm going to go down. So I'm kind of holding that loop. And then I can go up and I make sure I'm going in the loop or I catch the loop. Either way. So if I know I'm coming up in the loop, it's great because then I can just let go, pull it up. I'm in the loop. So I'm going to keep doing this until I start to get low on thread, and I'm going to show you how to stop and how to start again. Okay, see how I'm in the loop? You see that? I'm in the loop. And I'm just going to keep making my way around. Go ahead and bring my needle up. So when I'm bringing my needle up, I'm not actually in the pink heart. I'm right at the edge of it. And when I get down here to the point, do you see the point there? Points can be tricky. And sometimes I round the points, but I didn't on this heart. So let me just show you. So I came in here. Here's my loop. I'm going to bring my loop around my needle here. So my needle's coming up kind of right at the point of the heart. And sometimes you have to kind of mess with this. Can you see? So I'm going to use the same hole. I'm going to go back down in the same hole as I go around this tip of the heart. And again, mine never look exactly perfect. And I'm okay with that. And you can kind of guide your thread over a little bit if you need to. And then I just keep going. And that is the fun part about being a doodler with thread is we don't have to, everything doesn't have to look just exactly perfect. So you can see where my thread kind of moved over here. I just pull it. Yeah, I'm just going to pull it back over. And whoops, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Okay. All right, we're almost to where we can't do much else with this amount of thread. Hard to show on camera. Hopefully this is helping you. Okay, so now I'm going to say I'm going to stop. I don't have much thread left, and you can see I'm kind of I'm pulling this over. So I'm going to take my needle down right here on the other side of that little stitch right there, and that's just going to hold that stitch in place. Okay, I'm going to come on the back, go underneath that stitch just like before. See our little loop? You can definitely see it better back here. I'm going to go under the loop, make my little knot. I'm going to get some more thread, and then I'm going to show you how we pick back up on this blanket stitch. It's a little different because we're here. Let you see it. Not looking cute. Yes. So fun. Just takes a little practice, and you'll have it in no time. All right. Let me get some more thread. And again, needling my thread, pulling it to the middle, taking the tails, wrapping 1, 2, 3, pointing up. Whoops, I dropped it. 1, 2, 3. Pinching over what I wrapped, pushing up and through. Okay, so now we're going to start again. This is where we're going to come up right where we left off. Okay, so let me get my needle in here because that'll be easier for me to show you. Okay, do you see where this one left off? All right, I just want to show you where see how my thread is coming up? Straight up from this stitch. There's the knot on the back, and that's it. I start right there, and then I just pick it right back up. I'm going to scoot over a little bit, go down, come up. I'm inside the loop. If you're not inside the loop, you're going to catch the loop with your needle, and we're going to keep on stitching here. See that? And again, I'm inside the loop already. Here we go. I'm going to hold it. Come up. Inside the loop. And just keep making my way around. Sorry, my hands drift sometimes. If I drifted off camera, I'm sorry. I'm looking at what I'm stitching, and so sometimes I have to remember to look up and see what it looks like on the camera. Okay. Now, what if we get a little spot that we're just like, oh, I do not like how that looks right there. I generally very rarely ever cut out stitches. I just don't. I just leave them in. And to me, that's a spot where maybe I add a little button, right? A little embellishment, a little decorative stitching sometimes. So again, going to come up right here. Also, just one other thing, those of you that maybe you're like, well, gosh, I'm worried my stitches aren't going to all, line up. I just really don't worry about that. And you can see here, I'm going to stop right here. I'm just going to go right up here and pull that down in that center part of the heart. So look at my stitches. They're wonky, right? They're wonky. They don't all line up. They're fine. If I want to throw in, like I said, if I want to throw in a little button or something, sometimes when we look at something this close, we see it all. When we look at something this far away, we don't see anything, right? So I think sometimes we put our projects too like under a microscope, right? We put them too closely. We look at them too closely. Your stitches do not have to look perfect. They're fun. They're kind of wonky. If you decide you need to throw in, something else, you can. I actually prefer them looking doodly. And doodly to me is what kind of keeps me from having to obsess about everything being perfect. Okay. Yeah, Sandy, the templates are saved already for you over in the Create and Connect public Facebook group. And then we'll also be emailing them out to everybody that's registered on the list. Okay. So very cute. Yes, I can throw in a button. And yes, we will be adding some other things to these hearts when we meet again in part 2. So now I want to go ahead and show you just really quickly what happens next. So once you've done a little bit of decorative or doodle stitching around the inside hearts, however many you want to layer up, okay, we need to go ahead and put the back of the heart on. Okay, we need to go ahead. So that's what we're going to do next. I have the back of the heart here. We are our world's worst critic, Beth. You are so right. We always judge our things too harshly and we look too closely. And it just, when we do that, honestly, it's just it just takes away the joy of just the creative, just the creative process altogether. So we're not going to do that. And we don't do that in the Fabric Fan Club. We do not do that. Okay, so here is the back. Now, what I'm going to do is use my twist up glue stick again, but this time I'm just putting a little bit of it along the edges here. Just a little bit, tiny little bit along the edges here. Remember, we're going to stuff these, and I'm going to layer this heart right onto the back. And my twist up glue stick is going to hold this all in place. Okay, that's going to hold everything in place here. And now let's see, what color do we want to do around this outside edge? I think I'm going to go with this. This color is called Fresh Brew. It's like a really pretty dark green. Let's use this one. And again, you can mix and match your thread choices however you'd like. So again, going to needle my thread. If you ever have trouble doing this one direction, then I want you to turn the needle over to the other side, because there is a front and back. Oh, and you know what I didn't do? Yeah, I didn't cut it. Remember, we always want to give it a nice cut That's important. And there we go. Okay, needling my thread. Needling my thread. I'm going to bring it to the middle. And again, tails, 1, 2, 3. Point to the sky, to the ceiling, pinch around what I wrapped, and then just pull everything through. I get my little knot. Okay, so now then we're going to do the blanket stitch again, okay, around the outside to kind of close up our stuffy, okay? So what I like to do, because I don't want the knot to show through, I'm going to actually start over here. Remember, we just used that repositionable glue stick, so we can kind of pull this apart very easily. And I'm going to leave some room, but I want to show you what I'm doing. I'm kind of going into the felt. Can you see that? I'm going into the felt, right at the top edge of the felt. And this is just to hide my knot. I'm going to hide my knot in there, and I'm going to close it back up. And if you need to add an extra little bit of the glue stick, then you can. Okay, I'm going to hide my knot. Now, see how my thread is coming out the top edge? That's where I want it to be. It's coming out the top edge. The knot is hidden. But I'm not going to start down here at the tip. I'm going to start about right here, about an inch or so in, because we're going to stuff them from the bottom. Okay, so now I'm going to come over in again. I'm going to go down, kind of scoot it over here a little bit. Can you see my needle going down? Okay. And then I'm going to bring my needle up. And I got a little knot there. There we go. So the big thing is when you're doing the blanket stitch on an outside edge, okay, on an outside edge, again, I'm going to bring this up and I'm going to take my needle and catch the loop, okay, catch the loop. So if you're not in the loop when you come up, then I want you to catch the loop before you pull it snug. Okay, let's keep doing this. I'm going to go down. This is how I learned. I just catch the loop. Make sure you catch both threads and then pull it snug. Down. Catch the loop, both pieces of thread, and then pull it snug. Also, when you're pulling these snug, I like to use the word snug because if you over tighten them, if the fabric really starts to pucker, then we want to lighten up a little bit. So I like to pull my threads snug, not overly tight. Okay. I want it to stay closed, right? But I don't want to pull it so hard that it starts really tugging at all my other stitches. Okay, it's a little harder to see this one on this particular print. And again, just going to catch the loop. Okay, go down, catch the loop. Okay, now after you get good at like doing this and catching the loop, then you can start thinking again about, here's my loop, right? It's big, but as long as my needle comes up inside the loop, then I'm good to go. Okay, so in the beginning, you may be catching the loop a lot with your needle, and then eventually you're going to learn to pull your needle inside when it's already inside the loop. Okay, see how my hands are in the loop here, so I can grab the needle and just pull. So either way works. You can catch the loop or come up inside the loop. Either way works. I love hearing that thread, just the thread kind of coming through the fabric. There's just something so soothing about that for me. I love it. Okay, we're going to stop and start again. It looks like it's going to stop. It's going to be perfectly right here in the center. and my little valley. Okay, so now we have that. Always looks pretty on both sides. So cute. So let's go ahead and end our stitch here. So I like to go back under my stitch. Okay, just kind of going under just a little bit here. And then again, through the loop, that's going to make a little knot. Now, because I don't want to see the tail of this, I'm going to take my needle into the felt, right? Remember, it's got the felt kind of sandwich in there. And I'm going to bring it up. Look, this is the back. It's kind of hard to see because of this pattern. See where I just kind of slid it back, so it's not coming through the front at all, just the back. And then I'm just going to snip it real close to the fabric and then just kind of wiggle it through. And then the tail is inside our little heart. Okay, the tail is inside our little heart. Okay, so now I would just pick this back up again. Let's pick it back up again just so I can show you that one more time. And then I'm going to grab one of these other hearts that's finished and show you how I put the stuffing in. And I'm going to show you where I want you to stop before we come back for our next session of Fabric Fun, which will be Friday morning, which is January 30th, right? January 30th, Friday morning at 11 a.m. So again, remember, because I used my repositionable glue stick, I can kind of pull this apart a little bit. Just enough to where I'm coming, I just want my knot hidden. So I'm coming up through that knot that I made when I stopped. There we go. And I'm just going to tuck. Actually, let me trim this down. It's a little bit long there. There we go. I'm going to add a little extra glue stick right here. So now my knot is hidden. And do you see how I'm coming back up? Kind of right there. Okay. So then I just pick it back up again. I go down, catch the loop. Down, catch the loop. Down, catch the loop. Or eventually you can go down and come up inside the loop. Down, come up inside the loop. Now, sometimes you're going to get a little bit of these extra little strings. You can either pull those, that's just from your fabric, or just come back in and trim those with your scissors. Just be careful that you don't, actually cut your thread. And then we just keep going around. Okay, we just keep going around. That, my friends, is the blanket stitch. So now let's look at these two, because these two are finished up, right? Now, as I mentioned, we're going to be doing more to these in session number 2, but I did want to show you what I use for this. I use just good old polyfill, okay? Just good old polyfill. It's very inexpensive. Look, this big bag at Hobby Lobby was $3.57. And so just pull some of this out. Now, I'm going to leave these open for right now, but I wanted to show you how I fill them. So we've got just the fabric on the back, and this is the part we stitched on. So this is covering up all our little stitches and things. And then we're just going to start putting in some of the polyfill. We're not going to close them up today. Okay. We're not going to close them up today because a couple of my projects, or one main project I want to show you, it requires something going inside. So I'm not gonna close them up until we meet again. And I like to push into the shoulders of the heart first. You can also, sometimes I use like the end of a paintbrush for this, just to kind of help push everything in. And a lot of times people will ask me like, well, how do you know like how much polyfill? And so here's my answer for you. When you feel like whatever you're stuffing is full, then I want you to add some more. Okay? You're going to feel like it's full. And when you do feel like it's full, we're going to come back in and we're going to add some more. Look how pretty these are going to be. So pretty. Can you see it puffing out? Isn't that cute? So again, we're not going to close this up yet. Okay? We're not going to close this up yet. We will do that on Friday morning. I'll show you how I close these up and what I'm actually doing with these fabulous, beautiful little hearts. Okay? So this is where they'll stop for today. I know it looks kind of funny, but trust me on this. And yeah, they're going to just be so much fun. Okay. So this was kind of your 101 intro to stitching, intro to fabric fun, right? Tonight was really our main focus was on the back stitch, which I like to call the outlining stitch, and then also on the blanket stitch. Oh my gosh, just wait. They're going to be so cute. I cannot wait to show you what we're doing with them. So Fabric Fan Club members, you are going to love this. Those of you that aren't in the Fabric Fan Club, you get to be an honorary guest this week during Create and Connect. So you're getting to see a little bit of what we do and the fun that we have. And you'll definitely be seeing even more of that on Friday. Okay, you're going to be seeing even more of that on Friday. I really just wanted our first session to be good for a newbie, right? For a newbie out there. And again, I'm just kind of pushing this up because I want those shoulders of the heart to be nice and full first. Okay. So does anybody have questions? Does anybody have questions about the Fabric Fan Club? Anything that I can answer for you? I'm going to continue to make these nested heart stuffies. And like I said, I think I'm probably going to make 6 or so, something like that. Because I do want to show you, and I do want to show you these in different ways. Okay. Using them in different ways. Using them just as the heart stuffy itself, but then also using them. Oh, I can't tell you because I want to tell you so bad, but I'm going to keep it secret because I want you to come back Friday and watch. Okay. Yes, it is. It's so much fun. So again, it's $36 a month to be a member in this group. Those of you that have been out and about lately at the fabric stores, you know how expensive fabric is becoming. Luckily, we've been able to keep our prices within this range, even though tariffs and all the fun things have been driving prices up. It was really important to me to keep this group affordable because I want everybody to get to enjoy what we do. Look how cute that one is. Oh, they're going to be so, so fun and so cute. But I want everybody to be able to afford this group. It's just, gosh, it's so much fun. And like I said, you're going to have access not just to the wonderful fabrics and the kits and all the things that we send you, but you're going to have access to so much content. 6 years, we celebrate our 6th year anniversary in April coming up this year. And that is a lot of projects, tutorials, all the things. And then this year, especially, we're going to be doing some really fun things with our lettering with thread. I have some new stitches. We're going to start throwing out some new stitches for you that really kind of evoke this whole slow stitching kind of process. Beautiful, beautiful fabrics are coming. So many fun things. And then don't forget, Sunday night is the live reveal. So I'm going to show you what the stitching kit looks like, finished, completely finished. I'm going to show you what it looks like. And that way you'll know exactly what's coming to you in February. For the February is a specialty stitching kit month for Fabric Fan Club. It is so cute. I'm still working on it, but I've been stitching a lot over these past few snow days, but it'll be right ready to show and reveal to you on Sunday night exactly how it works, how the book comes in and out, all of those things. And I'm adding a little personal monogram on it. So I think it's going to be really, really cute. I can't wait to show you. Okay. All right. So we need to do a giveaway. And I also want to mention to you the freebie. So obviously we're giving you lots of free things, templates and deliverables. I have a free feel-good guide to why creativity matters. That's given to everyone that registers. Remember, if you register, even though this is free, you're already watching all the things. It automatically throws you over onto our grand prize drawing list that we'll be drawing from. But if you do register for Create and Connect, we're going to send you a welcome gift. So you're going to have our little Fabric Fan Club welcome postcard here, and it's going to be a mini bundle. Now, mini bundles are really fun to work with. I want to give you some fabric that you can play with, right? That can get you started creating. And so we've created these little mini bundles from some of our fabrics that we still have available. And so they're kind of color coordinated here. So here's one. And here's one. They're all three, it's 3 fat quarters. They all are coordinate so you can have fun and create with them. So we're going to send you a little fun welcome gift. Okay. And then I'm going to actually give one of these away right now. Okay. I'm going to actually give this one away. I love this one. You remember this one? Oh, so fun. So I'm going to give this one away right now. And like I said, I'm going to throw in a couple little needle threaders and maybe some little wonder clips in here with it for our lucky winner tonight. And hopefully everything I've shown you tonight is intriguing to you and makes you want to learn more about getting creative with fabric and felt and thread and all the fun things. So remember, I'm not a quilter, although I hope to be maybe one day. I'm not a seamstress. I like to doodle with thread. I like to make things. So the things that we make in the Fabric Fan Club are not typical of things that you see a lot in other fabric groups. And I actually pride myself on that because I just love getting creative with the things that I send you. So I'm excited. I hope that you'll come over and give us a try. There's no cancellation fee. Your payments for Fabric Fan Club run on the 3rd of every month. So even if you sign up today, we're not going to process your card until the 3rd. And then the stitching, specialty stitching kits will ship out on the 6th of February. Okay. All right. Yes, doodling with Fred. It's so much fun. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen. We're going to do our giveaway here. Share screen. All right, here we go. 333 entries. Let's see who's going to win. So exciting. Sandy Buck. You guys, actually, Sandy, you are our winner. I'm so excited. You guys, I want you to give a big shout out to Sandy. Yay! You are our winner for session number 2, Fabric Fun. And so, Sandy, all we need you to do is just to to send us an email to claim your prize. And that email is info, the little @ MissTracyCreates.com, info @ MissTracyCreates.com, and just say, hey, I was the winner for Fabric Fun session number 2. And we'll make sure we have a good shipping address and all those things for you so that we can send you your prize. Congratulations, Sandy. Yes. Congratulations. Oh, good. I'm so glad that you guys are excited to start your Nested Heart Stuffies. That is wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, now I got to remember how to go back to here. There we go. Okay. All right. So, congratulations, Sandy. And thank you to all of you for watching tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be talking to you about the Paper Crafters Clubhouse. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m., I'm going to be talking to you about the faith journaling experience. And I have some really fun projects lined up for us in both of those sessions. So I would love to see you tomorrow. I'll be live again, my YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and then we'll be sharing this over into the Create and Connect with Miss Tracy public Facebook group. Okay. It's going to be so much fun. All right. So if there's anything else you need from us, questions, you're watching the replay, anything like that, please email my team and we are happy to answer any questions that you have. We want to make this experience a fun one for you during Create and Connect week. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night, everybody.